I'm glad to have you on, and it's an honor to have you guys. Today's event, I look forward to it so much. Yeah, thank you for reacting. I can see your reaction. So today, for did someone just raise their hand? Okay. So today we have for newcomers. I don't know if you know machine learning later, but we basically focus on bringing like minds together. Machine learning Lagos, like for basically machine learning AI, we offer like events. Our technical session has been very good so far. Our we basically host events like, and we invite great speakers to talk to us. Like it's been good so far, amazing. If you she has been doing a great work, bringing great speakers. Then we also offer like study groups where like minds come together and just basically just for your growth. So today, in Machine Learning Lagos, um we focus on inclusivity, and we are going to celebrate women. We know this month as International Women's Day. So today is our own event. How women in this space have done great things. So that's what the event is for today. Sorry, my bad. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Zaina Bakare, and I'm a designer in Machine Learning Lagos. I create like promotional content to promote the community and let people know what exactly we are doing. Well, I'm your moderator for today, so work with me, and I think we can start now. And our first agenda for today is our first agenda is an intro to machine learning Lagos, and that will be done by speaker Ifion Agbara Olusheye. Yeah, so
Good, good day, everyone. Good day. So, my name is Ifion, like she said, and I lead the Machine Learning Lagos community. So, like she said, today is our International Women's Day event where we come to celebrate women. And before we begin, I just want to give a brief overview of what we do at Machine Learning Lagos, because so far we've had a lot of newcomers and we have a lot of new people on this call. So I'll just walk you through what we do at Machine Learning Lagos. So what's ML Lagos? We are a community that is basically focused on bringing a collaborative environment around the AI space, where what we discuss primarily is Google's AI products, its offerings, and how to get started with AI, and using the Google technologies, because we are a Google based community. So what we offer as a community, we offer a lot of things. The first one is going to be our events, technical events and workshops. We have monthly technical events. We have workshops. Um, we have office hours. We have several things basically to improve your skills. Then we have study groups, which is currently ongoing, where we cover topics around AI. Then we also work on real world projects. I know this, we've not exactly started this, but it's in the works. We also offer networking opportunities through our groups, and possibly when we start physical hangouts, then should we showcase talents, and we have a repository for learning. So we have a resource repository where you can always go to get started with your AI journey. So currently we have the design team, we have the content team, we have the community engagement, event planning, logistics, the project team, and the study group team. And I happen to lead all of them. So breakdown of engagements. We have the monthly calls, like I said. We have a reading club that is in the works. We have our study groups and jam, and we plan on having a community, a physical one, hopefully. So how can you get involved in all what I just said? By giving us feedback. We share monthly feedback forms, and we expect people to fill it so we would know how we are doing and know where we can improve. Then present yourself at speaking at future events. Like I asked a couple of people on the group if they would like to join me on our next monthly session, and I got around 3 people. So that was presenting, and we're going to do that next week Monday, and then you showcase yourself and will help you publicize. So yeah, moving on to the keynote session. So that's all on Machine Learning Lagos, and I hope to see more of you being present. So over to you, Zainab. Thank you.
Our first speaker for today, our first agenda for today is a keynote session, and our speaker is Atieno. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce the name. Atieno Alela. If I'm wrong, please you can correct me. Then the topic for today is Redefine Possible International Women's Day 2025 special. So our speaker is a developer relations community manager. She's a dynamic developer ecosystem community manager at Google via Algo. I told you that we don't bring in small speakers in machine learning Lagos, big people, big women. She's working to build and strengthen developer communities across sub-Saharan Africa with a strong foundation in software engineering. She has become a leading voice in promoting inclusivity for women in the technology sector. Please let me see you guys' reaction. Let me see your reaction, please. She was selected as a Tech Women Emerging Leader, a testament to her impactful work. Building on this experience, she co-founded Mentor Match Kenya. We're not even doing it. We are out of Nigeria. She co-founded Mentor Match Kenya, a platform designed to provide valuable mentorship opportunities. Atene is passionate about creating a more equitable and accessible tech land space. This is it. I love my women. Please let's have Atene Alela. Sorry, Atene Alela. Let's have her in here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'll just switch to my slides. Thank you for the warm welcome. Let me know if you're able to hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So to start with, I am going to be so sorry because I'm by the roadside. It's my Sabbath off, but I had to take this call. So apologies if you hear a lot of roadside noise. My name is Atieno Alela, Developer Relations Community Manager at Google. I am also a co-founder of Mentor Match Kenya, as has been mentioned, an org that is set to officially launch in May. And so hopefully you get to hear more about it. But what we do at Mentor Match Kenya is we are automating the process of matching professionals with job seekers or those who are new to the industry and based on their profiles and whatnot. Super happy to be joining the ML Lagos community for the IWD. As we come to the end of the month, it's also a great chance to just celebrate all the efforts that women are putting in the technology space. So great. So the theme that I was given is Redefining Possible. And just to kick us off, I'm like, what does that exactly mean to you? I'm going to try to make my keynote as interactive as possible. So if you can just drop in the chat what redefining possible means to you. It means a lot of things. And I'm like, okay, when someone tells me that I need to redefine possible, right? What exactly is the expectation that I am supposed to, give? So if you do not mind, just feel free to drop what it is to you, and then I can jump into what I understand by the theme. Anybody who wants to? Okay, I'm seeing Asa. Oh, I'm going to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Anybody who wants to go? Okay, so being groundbreaking, right? Anyone else? Should have made this anonymous. But the theme has a lot of meanings. It means breaking the norm, yes. Okay, all answers are right. So groundbreaking, breaking the norm. Okay, I'll go with those two. Now, we live in a world whereby there are infinite opportunities for us to tap into, but at the same time, we tend to ask ourselves, okay, what exactly can I achieve, right? Maybe growing up at some point, you're like, I can be a doctor. Then you get to your 7th grade in school, you're like, okay, maybe I can be a journalist. You get to another point, you can be like, okay, maybe I can just exist in this society, or maybe I can be a techie, I can be a lawyer. We live in a world whereby there are different opportunities for us to tap into, but what is the biggest limitation that we have? Does anybody have an idea what they think is the biggest limitation, right? It's like I'm saying, you can achieve anything you set your mind to do, but you're like, okay, there are like 1,000 or 1,000,000 things, and maybe I'm not good at all these things. Yes, allow me to say mindset. Anybody else? Fear, right? Again, all these are right answers. This, if you look at all the opportunities that have ever been laid before you, an example that I like to give is when you look at the male gender, for example, they do not need to check 100% of the boxes for them to apply for a role, right? But in our minds as women, it's always like, I feel like I need to make sure that all this that they're asking from me, I am actually able to achieve them. I am able to have this certification. If let's say I'm looking at a project management role, I need to have 10 years of experience. But what if I could just apply with my 2 years of experience? What if I could just apply without that certification? Our biggest limitation is ourselves. And how does this come to play? Now, before we jump into how it comes to play, what are the possible words that you're seeing that you can actually identify from what you're seeing, this word cloud? So there's the P, there's the B, there's the O, I, S, B, P, S, in no particular order. Assuming you were to come up with words that you can structure out of this, what are some of the words? There's a boss. Yes, I didn't even notice that one. Okay, so we have the word boss. Again, feel free to drop that. Okay, there's the word boss. Anybody else is seeing a word? Or a letter that speaks to your soul? Zainab, maybe you can help me engage the audience. Boss too, yes. Okay, so if your hand also sees the word boss, anybody else who's seeing something that speaks to them? Anybody? Okay, so we have several words here. We have SIP, we have boss, we have I, right? And when it comes to thinking about the possibilities, you are your biggest limitation. It is you who defines what you can. It is us who can define what exactly it is that we can and we cannot do. It is you to say, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. But even when you're trying to redefine what's possible for you, what is the biggest mistake that you can make? Now, we tend to define ourselves mostly by our weaknesses and not our strengths. You will walk into a room and you're like, I am good. I don't think I'm good at networking, right? But what if you can say, I think I'm good at describing myself on a piece of paper? So defining yourself by your strength and not your weaknesses could actually be the key thing to help you to redefine what's possible, to redefine possible. In that, it's speaking to what you're great at, speaking to what you have accomplished, speaking to what you have achieved over time, and looking at it in terms of, it is not bragging if it is true, right? So if I say today that I am good at machine learning, okay, that's a bit like though. So if I say that I am good at, what am I good at if I'm to define myself? So let's say I can say I am good at sales, right? It would be speaking to my strength and not to my weaknesses. It would be not focusing on what it is that I cannot accomplish, but defining myself with what it is that I can achieve, what it is that I can implement. I could today say that my biggest strength is communication, right? My biggest strength is being able to bring people together in a room. That is my strength. And so tapping onto that strength to be able to achieve the goals that I have set as an individual is what I would use to define the infinite possibilities that I can achieve. Now, why is this important for us? I want us to do a very short exercise where you're going to try to describe yourself on the chat section with the strength that you possess, okay? And in so doing, it's going to be focusing on you as, how do I say this, the positive side of you as an individual, and less focus on defining yourself with the limitations that either the society has set for you or the limitations that you as an individual have set for yourself, or the things that you say are your weakness. Case and sample, if you're not good at running, then don't say, I am good at running. I'm not good at running. It could be, I'm very good at doing long distance walking, you know, but it's not, I am good at run. Like you tend to define yourself with a not. It's with a positive. So Olamide says that, I'm assuming it's she. Olamide, what are the pronouns you'd like me to use? She. Okay, great. Thank you. So Olamide says she's good with communication and multitasking. And the exercise we're going to do is, it's going to be Olamide to more like describe herself based on her strengths for communication and multitasking. So it's I, Olamide, for example, I'm really good at communication, and I believe my communication skills has helped me achieve X, Y, and Z. When it comes to multitasking, I happen to also have a niche for it, and I'm able to do this, this, and this, right? So it's Olamide is describing herself based on her strengths and not on the thing that she's not good at. So the things that you're not good at end up being limitations, because at times you end up focusing your strength and your might, trying to change them. Yet in some instances, it's not changeable. So this is what I mean. You walk into a room and you're like, you know what? I'm not good at back-end programming. So you're putting all your strength into understanding back-end. Yet if you sat down and be like, I'm really, really good at the UI front, okay, at the front end side of things, or I'm really, really good at product design. What if you tapped into your product design side and was actually able to be the best product designer in Lagos or even just in your community? You know, so focusing so much on your weaknesses makes you end up forgetting that you actually have things that you're really good at and that you can actually perfect. So Ifihan says that she's good at problem solving and helping people. Ifihan, if you don't mind unmuting, we're going to do a mini exercise with you. So I like doing mini exercises when it's not a very large audience, because it makes it easy for us to actually have an impactful session. So if you're okay and meeting, please let me know. It's about redefining what's possible for you. Okay, so hi, Ifihan.
Hello?
We're going to assume this is like an elevator type of conversation where you're redefining what's possible for you as an individual, right? So you're in a room where they're looking for somebody who's really, really good at problem solving in the machine learning space, let's assume that, or coming up with innovative ideas. If you don't mind taking a minute to describe yourself based on your strengths as a way to also help you see the possible or infinite opportunities that are out there for you. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, should I? Okay, so if I was in a room where I was asked to describe my strengths, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I would go with starting. I'll first introduce myself. My name is Ifion, and I'm a machine learning engineer. My strengths are problem solving, in the sense where I start by thinking of several methods on how to solve a particular problem, while not looking at the in at the limitations, I first think of all the solutions that come to my head first, and I table them down, and I begin to look at one of them each after the other. So that would help me think far and think wide on how to solve the problem. So those or that is one of my skills. Then helping people in instances where I am not able to provide a solution, I offer as much help as possible to people that know how to solve this problem and learn with them to be able to get the solution done. So that's how I'll introduce myself.
Okay, thank you. That was actually really lovely. Now, from what I've gathered, is in a room whereby somebody, let's say, is looking for a team person, Ivihan would be very great for it, because you're like, okay, so she's not just somebody who wants to tech chat the whole time. She's also open to helping others achieve their goals or also collaborating. She has defined herself by the strength that she possesses and not by the weaknesses that we possess. That is to say, when we focus so much on our weaknesses, we end up not being able to redefine what's possible for us, right? We end up focusing on, I don't think they like me because I'm not good at this. I don't think I'm able to achieve this set goal because I'm not good at this. But if you're able to even identify people who you can work with to achieve some of your goals while also helping them achieve their own, then you're good at collaboration. If you're able to define yourself by what you're good at, always remember this, it's what you're good at that defines who you are. Your weaknesses will never define who you are when you're trying to define what's possible. But this is the thing. On the chat, there's some of you who are like quiet. So I'm assuming you do not know what your strengths are. Maybe you know them by word. Maybe you know them by name. Okay, the way I'm going to use an example is, you know your role. Let's say you're a machine learning engineer and you have no idea how to brand yourself as a machine learning engineer outside there. Or you have no idea what even the skills of a great machine learning engineer is. So you're really, really struggling with that. You have access to all the skills, all these tools that you can leverage on, and you're like, how can I make them work for me? Well, that's my sister is where AI comes in. So again, we're going to do something very, very simple. Sorry, I'm big on exercises. I'm just going to open Gemini and we're going to try to define something for one of you to help one of you brand themselves, right? To help you not just say, I'm a machine learning engineer, and then that's about it. So just a second. Okay. So I'm going to share this instead. I'm going to switch to Gemini. Now, we're going to use one person here. I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I wanted to use your strength. But I feel like I'm going to butcher it. So let me go back to someone else. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Olamide is good at communication and multitasking. Olamide, would you care to unmute?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Olamide. What is your task? What is your role?
Okay, I'm currently a data scientist.
Okay, and your strengths are?
Communication and multitasking.
Okay. So we're going to say, define Olamide, who is a data scientist, and her strength is this, right? So of course, we're just using Gemini. Now, the reason as to why I'm saying this is why AI comes in is at times we struggle so much with trying to find the right words to put into who we are. So make this a summary. So I'm just going to say, make this a summary. Again, it's simple prompting. All of us know about it. So this is the thing. Olamide says her strengths are communication and multitasking. And when she's defining herself or what she can do as an individual, we want to be able to see, it pop up fast. So in this case, it says Olamide is a data scientist with strong technical skills complemented by exceptional communication and multitasking capabilities. Now, this allows her to effectively analyze data, convey complex findings to diverse audiences, and manage multiple projects efficiently. Now, assume you walked into a room and this is the first thing you heard about Olamide. Would any of you not have a reason to hire her? I'm trying to see on the chat who's jealous. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we can also leverage on technology and all these AI tools that exist to help us define who we are based on one, identifying our character, identifying, not just based on your role, but knowing that as an individual, this is how I can also define myself. It does not have to be a copy and paste from AI, but it could be like, okay, based off my understanding of my strength, my understanding of my role, this is what I possess. So can I leverage on AI, for example, to help me redefine who I am? Okay, that was just a basic example. Assuming now we wanted to redefine Samuel, right? Samuel is good at problem solving and understanding. I believe that's what, problem solving and problem understanding at the same time, right? Defining himself by that would actually help us to be able to know, is this the type of character we want in the room? Now, when you think about redefining what's possible, it starts with you. As was mentioned on the call, we talked about, Olamide said it's mindset. Ifihan said it's fear. Chiamaka said it's overthinking. And when you look at the word possible, there's the word boss, there's the word I. So it all starts with you as an individual to redefine what is possible for you in a world that is filled with all these infinite opportunities that we've talked about. It is how now you go ahead to, brand yourself as an individual. Because truth be told, nobody's going to hire you or nobody's going to start a conversation if you don't have your own personal brand or you don't even know how to define yourself as an individual. You may be thinking about, okay, I want to do this career switch, right? But from having a basic conversation on, much as I have knowledge on X, I feel like this is where my path wants to go. That is a conversation starter. That one begins with you as an individual. How have you branded yourself? Another thing is when you think about redefining yourself is a continuous learning, right? We are moving in a fast space ecosystem. The tech space is ever changing. So how do you always make sure you are up to date with what's new in tech? How do you make sure that if you were, let's say, an Android developer, for example, like me, I got lost after they switched to Kotlin, and that's years back. So how do you ensure that you continue to build on the strengths that you possess so you're not also left behind? Now, how do you leverage it on sessions like this ones to even build networks beyond just a session? It could be, okay, we are done with this. Let's connect on LinkedIn, right? When you connect on LinkedIn, the first thing somebody wants to see is how you're defining yourself, how you're defining your work. Now, that is you opening more doors to yourself. This is not you limiting yourself to your current situation or your current status, right? Another thing is you have to be an advocate for inclusivity, even when innovating. Now, when you talk about inclusivity when innovating, it's not just about DEI, it's about gender. It could be in terms of even making, your applications accessible to people with disability. It could be when you're thinking about machine learning, it's supposed to have like language inclusivity in that particular aspect. This audience, you're not building just for one particular segment, you're building for all. And then another thing is you also, when you're redefining what's possible for you, you need to be able to share. Now, when we're talking about sharing, is sharing your knowledge, sharing your skills, sharing tools, sharing resources with all. Being able to be somebody who does not, I'm going to use the word gatekeep, the knowledge and the content and the resources that you have and say, this is for me. I'm not going to give it to anyone else. It's about you being open to collaborating with others. It's about you being able to ideate with other people. Because at the end of the day, the thing is redefining what's possible, right? You're not defining what's possible alone. You're going to be able to do it as a team. I don't know if that makes sense. So I didn't have much to say, but what I want to say is at the end of it all, you need to be able to see obstacles as opportunities and be able to turn them into opportunities. And whatever doubts that you have as an individual, remember that it's supposed to channel the drive. It's supposed to be turned into drive. So it's supposed to be the reason you wake up every day and say, you know what? much as I'm good at machine learning and I'm not applying for this, maybe I should give it a try. It doesn't hurt to give it a try. Now, if you think your greatest obstacle is you're not up to date with the recent technologies, much as you have knowledge on it, what does it hurt if you learn? What does it hurt if you join a community of people who are doing the same thing? So please, at the end of the day, let us try to channel that inner boss in possibilities. And remember, it starts with us to be able to redefine possible. That's it from me. I didn't have much. My time was 30 minutes. I think I'm way over time by 6 minutes or less, yeah. So yeah, that was what I have to do today. And I'm open to any questions that may arise. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer them. Yeah. Back to you. Zainab?
Thank you very much, speaker, Miss Eunice. Thank you. I really enjoyed this session. It was so interactive. Thank you so much. The next, please, do we have questions from our speaker? We don't get to see great speakers like this every day. So please, this is like a Q&A session. So please, you can drop your questions. You can either unmute yourself or you drop your question on the chat box. I'm waiting. Ask questions. So
Okay, so if Ihan has a question, I think I can take two and then I continue. First. Okay. So what to do with your fears? Now, how can we brand our weakness? Okay, and that is how we can brand our weakness. And then if Ihan is, what do we do with our fears? Now, when I talk about what if I don't know my strengths? Okay, so there are three questions that I need to address. So the first one, I'm going to start with what to do with our fears. Now, when I say your fears do not define who you are, right? Your fears are there mostly the way, if you look at the first three answers, it's your mindset, right? Let's start with that. Your greatest fear is your biggest limitation. When you fear something, you're like, I cannot do this. Give it a try. Remind yourself that you're a remarkable human being in all that you do. Remind yourself that much as there's something that you're so scared of, there's something that really, really pushes you. There's something that drives you. Let the thing that drives you be the reason for you to actually achieve everything that you set. So if your fear today is fear of rejection, tell yourself, you know what? At the end of the day, I can build something on my own, right? So if someone tells you no, give it a shot. Some of the biggest or greatest minds out there do not achieve the thing by getting a yes immediately. It's more like you try until you're not scared anymore to try, until you get to a point whereby you're not even scared of failing, right? There's a song I really like. It's I Won't Give Up. It's called Try Everything. It's by Shakira. And just about the fact that you'll fall and then you rise, right? So it's not a matter of your biggest limitation would be you. And so don't let your fear prevent you from pushing. When you identify what exactly it is that you're scared of, say, okay, so I'm scared of failing, but let me give it a try, for example. Or I'm scared that this particular program has rejected me 3 times, but what would it hurt if I said the 4th time? It's a matter of convincing yourself. So don't let your fear be your limitation. I'm going to give you an example of tech women. I applied 3 times, got rejected twice. But on my third one, I was like, you know what? What exactly have I been doing wrong? I was so scared, but I was like, it wouldn't hurt to hit submit. I hit submit and I was selected. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually great. So my fear would have let me hold back, would have held me back, but just deciding that it's not going to be a limitation helped out. So don't look at your fears as limitations. Just let it be something. Your doubt should be something that you're converting into your drive. So please let it drive you to achieve your goals. I hope I answered your question. Olamide is how can we brand our weakness? Again, Olamide, I am echoing on this so much. You're defining yourself by your strengths and not your weaknesses. When you talk about, when you want to brand your weakness, that is what you want people to know you for. You'll be in a team, and because you said you're not good at communication, they'll be like, oh, I cannot ask Olamide to even present. During that stand-up, she said she's so bad at communication. But what does that mean? You're limiting yourself because you're letting your weaknesses be the reason you are who you are. So you don't brand yourself with your weaknesses. You brand yourself with your strengths. If you look at most LinkedIn posts, at times it looks like people are oversharing or talking too much about what they're good at. But this is the thing. If I go out there and say, hi, my name is Alela, I'm good at communication, and I believe that my X number of years have helped me achieve this. I'm good at this. Nobody wants to know what I'm bad at. Let them identify on their own. Like, okay, this one, when it comes to presentations, it's I cannot create slides even if I was to save my life. So yes, I'm so bad at this. I just throw in words. Zainab, what if you don't know your strengths? So I'm gonna say if you don't know your strength, then this is where I made a joke about AI coming into hand. Now, for a data scientist, for example, there are some given, for a machine learning engineer, let me just choose that because I'm in an email group, there are specific things that people look for, right? So let's say they're looking for somebody who's good at data science, somebody who's good at analytics, somebody who's good at building models, a given language, and so on and so forth. You can always do a little bit of research to know what exactly people are looking for when it comes to a given individual. And you're like, okay, these are the boxes that I check. So how do I build on top of them to be able to define who I am? Identifying your strengths could also come from people telling you, oh, Zainab, I really like how you're leading this session. I really like your community management spirit. I'm like, okay, so somebody else could be the reason you actually know what you're good at. It could also be something that you do so effortlessly. Case and sample is, I find talking to people in person to be so effortless. And I panic all the time when I'm supposed to be doing a virtual session. But I'm like, my biggest strength is in-person sessions. So what if I do more of those, and then helps me to see, okay, when you're communicating with people, they'll always give you feedback. Also be open to criticism, because when somebody tells you that you're not good at this, then have that in the back of your mind, like, okay, but they didn't complain about this. So that is also a way for you to identify what your strengths are. Demilola, machine learning jobs might be hard to get in Nigeria. Is there a way to make it easy? Something that I tell a lot of people is, don't limit yourself to your geographical location when you're thinking about jobs and internships. There are so many roles that are remote. There are so many roles that are like require you to relocate. Identify sites that could work to your advantage. And again, this goes back to what I talked about on personal branding. Recruiters will not reach out to you if you don't have will rarely reach out to you if you don't have a personal brand of who you are and what you can do. Share your work. Be open to writing articles about the things that you're doing. Be open to just doing like a short snippet. And you can leverage on AI for such things. Just be open to doing a short snippet of, this is my work, or this is what I learned today. This is a walkthrough of what I built over the day or over this period. Be open to sharing what you're building. Build in the open. Okay, building in the open will make you more visible, will make you more attractive for others to be able to come to you. So make it so that they're coming to you and not you going to them all the time. Again, the tech scene has changed. 2019, you'd not be worried about a tech role, to be honest. You'd be like, this one isn't that. Okay, fine, let me look for another one. But right now we're living in a space where you'd be like, where do I get an internship? Where do I land my next role? Is it the right time for me to switch? If you have a personal brand, or if you've defined yourself as somebody who can do something, it's very easy for somebody else to identify you, which is why now we're trying to redefine what's possible and not limit ourselves to the limitation that we have set for ourselves. Again, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm assuming that is all. Zainab, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I think you've addressed all of it. Thank you very much. And I think I want to add to what she said. Personally, I think I'm not good at communication. And if you reach out to me, I was hesitating, but I'm glad I took this, and I don't know, you can tell me if I'm doing well or not. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You did justice to all the
Thank
questions.
you.
I'm glad you had here.
Thank you as well, and thanks for the invite. I will now run away. And if anybody wants to reach out, it's Eunice Alela on LinkedIn and Denise Alela or Variable Denise on X. I'm always happy to have one-on-ones or even just set up time to chat. So feel free to reach out. I'm looking forward to all of us being able to redefine possible and leveraging on what's already existing to build and innovate and just grow the ecosystem together. Zainab, thank you. And you're doing a remarkable job at this. So hopefully we get to connect later. That's it from me. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye. Thank you. So, we all enjoyed that session because it was engaging. Personally, I enjoyed it and I learned a lot from it. So, yeah, I can see your reactions. So that means you enjoyed the session. Yeah, moving on to the next, just a quick icebreaker question for you all. Okay, I want this to be interactive in this chat box. First person. This is just a simple question, but first person to type what ML is in ML Lagos. I'm not seeing any reply. Oh yeah, thank you, Olamide. You've been amazing. I'm going to send a few to you. If you're going to, yeah, thank you, Olamide. Yeah. So the second question is, what day was International Women's Day? March 8th? No, Olamide, no, you deserve something. Okay. Thank you. Olamide has been the one interacting the most, even with the last speaker. She's been the one. Um, mm, Another interesting question. I hope Olamide doesn't win this also, but who is referred to as the mother of machine learning? Did you get my question? Cynthia Rudy. Oh, not the founder of machine learning Lagos, the founder of who is the mother of machine learning? Yes, it's Ada Lovelace. Yes, Ada Lovelace. Yes. So I think that's Adeboyega Samuel. Yeah. But if you think she's the one, so yeah, thank you. Um, let me see if I can start. Um, Another question I want to ask, just a quick true or false. AI can learn without data. True or false? True or false? Oh, thank you. We have a lot of yeah, false. You guys are engaging me. I am loving this audience. Um, um, if you are on, if your AI can learn without data, or maybe she can come and tell us how. But if you tell us how yours work, oh, yes, she can redefine the possible. Nothing is impossible. She's the AI. Love it. I guess you're like if you're on side. Nobody on my side. True or false? AI and ML are the same thing. Did you guys hear my question? False. We have a lot of knowledgeable people here. ML is a branch of AI. Yes. Lastly, please would anybody like to share what they learned from the last session? You can. I would love that. Branding and building. Okay, let's your weakness. You could raise your hand if you want to speak. I'm going to give you audience to speak. Oh. Raise and share with us. Share with us. Let's see. I'm not seeing any answer. So I think Damilola was to speak. So Damilola, you can go. You can go first. I guess you can. Okay, you can go first. Damilola, I shall.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Yeah, what I learned was branding. Like I must be known for something. My strengths. People must know me with my strengths. Then I should build in public. Like people should know me. My daily progress. I should always post it. They should know my daily progress. And what I learned is that through that process, work will locate me. I won't be the one begging for work. So it's a great learning. Then I should focus on my strengths. Out of my strengths, then there will be a solution to my weakness. Yes, yes. That's what I learned. Thank you to Mrs. Alela. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for speaking, Damilola. Did anybody raise their hand?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I heard it. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm not seeing any hand again. Somebody can still. Somebody can. So Let me read the one in the chat. Miriam Peter said, "Do not let you, yes, don't define yourself by your weakness. Um, Branding and building public shall all have a brand, like personal brand. This is why you stand out. So yeah, I learned to let my strength stand out. My strength should define me. Yes, don't define yourself by your weakness. You have a strength and you should identify by that. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I guess I should go back to my question. My questions. Mm, who is the father of AI? John McCarthy, Richard Bellman, Geoffrey Ainsley. So many, so many. I think John McCarthy is the correct question. Samuel said it before me. Yes, Samuel was the first to write that. Thank you very much for engaging that. So I'll move to the next session, which is the panel session. Yay! I look forward to the session so much. So the panel session, we have two panelists, Testimony Ademi and Favor James. These names I just called. I'm not supposed to call them that because they are great women that have done great things. Please welcome them. Let me see your reaction. Welcome. So, still on today's topic, Redefine Possible International Women's Day 2025 special. So, the first panelist is a beautiful woman, Testimony Adeyemi. She's a storyteller and AI engineer passionate about blending creativity and technology. She built Lola, a period tracking AI with 2,500 plus users. Wow, 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 wow. I'm interested in this. And leverage her background in computer science to drive innovation through marketing, software development, and storytelling. She's Testimony Adeyemi, an AI engineer. Thank you. Thank you. We are glad to have you here. Then moving to our second panelist, Favor. Favor is a machine learning engineer with a strong passion for AI and their potential to transform healthcare. God, this is so interesting. As a two-time Google Summer of Code contributor and active open source advocate. See, see people contributing to open source. She thrives on building impactful tech and giving back to the community. She's especially committed to supporting women in tech through community engagements. You'll find her in crime, mystery, health, novels, or movies or series outside of work. She seems like a very interesting person. Not every time work. Not every time work like if you have hobbies too. Yeah. We are glad to have you here. Favor James. She's an AI engineer at Cytoscape Consortium. Oh God, I can't pronounce it. Big things. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I know you guys are eager to hear from our panelists. So I guess you can just say hi, Favor. You can say hi to us. Can Favor hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hi,
Great.
I'm glad to be here. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So um the second speaker, testimony. Hi there. Hi, testimony.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Hello?
can.
Oh,
Yes.
hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, and I really can't wait for us to get into it. Thank you so much.
All right. So I guess you can kick start. The first question is, what does redefine possible mean to you both personally and professionally? Favor, please, you can start. Let's start with you. What does redefine possible mean to you both personally and professionally?
Hi. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We can.
Okay, okay. To me, redefine possible actually means constantly like challenging like limitations that we face from even like society, people around me, and like even personally. Like sometimes things like think we have limitations. So that's what it means to me. It's also like, and then professionally it's about um innovation, being creative, finding solutions for several problems we are actually faced with in the work. And it means not waiting for permission to take actions, to lead or to speak up. Then I see it as like a form of to create small systems that work for people and for myself. And then define what success means personally for myself and like professionally.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Testimony. Can I hear from you? What does redefine possible mean to you?
Okay, so redefining impossible to me it means questioning everything. There's a way things have been done. There are so many, or would I say, pre-existing templates that have been left for us by people that I think don't even have as much access as we have. So, for example, let's say the innovators of the internet the internet happened late 90s, right, early 2000s, and these were people who didn't have access to as much information or knowledge that we have today. So redefining possible means looking back at everything that has been done and looking at, okay, how can we make it better? Now that we have this much access, we have ChatGPT, that thing is one of the smartest technologies in our decade, and just being able to think about every single thing and say, okay, what if we can make this better? What if there's a better way to do things? That's what redefining possible means to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Still testimony, please. How have you seen the concept of possibility evolve in tech industry over the years? Because you said something about how the internet was created years back, even before smart development. So, how have you seen the concept of possibility evolve in tech industry over the years?
Um, hmm. So I think that one of the biggest advancements that we have currently is the generative AI. I know everybody talks about AI, but to be fair, I think to a good extent it's what's the hype, and it's interesting to see how far we've come from you know HTML pages, just simple HTML pages on the internet. Nowadays, now we have fully blown good looking, what they call it, fully blown looking UI designs and things like that. So I think technology it's advancing in the right way, even though it can be better, even though we can customize things better. So let's say the African the African narrative. So I'm just going to stop being vague, and I think I'll take a very relatable example. So let's say the way we get information, So before, if I want to find out something, let's say who is the father of Apple, who who founded Apple, right? I'll probably do a Google search. Nowadays, I don't do Google searches as much. I'll probably just go talk to ChatGPT and ask it the question, and I'm able to engage and I'm able to go back and forth with it. So I think that technology is advancing, because one of the things I really really love about generative AI technology is the fact that as human beings, one of the ways we were made to communicate is through speech. Talk when you talk, and then you get an answer, and then you talk back, and I'm really excited to see technology that does exactly that. Technology that you just talk to it and it talks back at you, or you text and it texts back at you. Another exciting one would be, I think there's I'm seeing an influx in speech to action. So let's say you want to create a video, and then instead you just like type out what you want and you tell it, and then it gives it back to you, instead of, let's say, putting it together by yourself, scene after scene. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer the question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Favor, how to please can you share with us how your roles have influenced the way you redefine success and possibility in your field? Hello.
Sorry, please can you come again?
I said, how have your roles influenced the way you redefine success and possibility in your field?
Okay. So now the major roles I've had, like, since I started, is my GSOC tool, and the one I actually continued working with the organization I did GSOC in. So the organization you see on my profile is the organization I did GSOC in last year. So they extended my contract and I continued to this year. So the way it has redefined the way I define success and possibility. So funny thing, the work I was doing, I was doing something relating to bioinformatics. I am not a biology person. I studied engineering. I'm a chemical person. But because of the way tech can be applied in every field, I was working with LLMs to generate knowledge graphs. So I didn't even need to have the basic knowledge of biology. I just needed to know what an edge is, what a hook is, and work out learn how to work with the data set. And I was able to work in that room. So the way tech has evolved over the years, how it can be applied in any field, makes you, even when you're not in that field, to be able to work in that field. And through that project, I was able to continue the contract, given the fact that my background is not even in bioinformatics. I was able to work with data sets, informatics data sets. I was able to what is the word? I was able to generate knowledge graphs using LLM. So just like what testimony said, the way we have gotten to in tech, LLMs understand a lot of these things. So when you just have to operate with them and then you can work with them, you tend to be able to work in any field, even if you don't have the main background knowledge concerning them. So it has shown me how I can succeed in any aspect as long as I am what is the word? I'm proficient with the code, the LLM, the way they operate, and how to build models surrounding them. Even when I didn't have the background knowledge of biology and bioinformatics, biology terms, and all those kinds of things. Yeah, I hope I've been able to answer the question.
Yes, thank you. That was an interesting one. So we can do anything we want to do. So testimony, I would also like you to share how your roles have influenced the way you redefine success in your field.
Okay. So I think an example that I'll probably talk about is my current role. So I currently work as an AI engineer at El Tracker. And one of the things that so usually problems jump at me. So there are just usually some problems that I see and I can't ignore them. I can't make them go away. And yeah, so to a great extent, I'm forced to find something to do about it. So we realized we had a problem, yeah. People would come to our website and instead of them to book, because we offer health tests. So instead of them to book the service, sometimes they would get lost in the process, right? And then they would just drop off. And it was happening a lot. And then customer service had a lot of problems because people were always calling customer service. At some point, they would just come to our DMs and just like text us and say, this is what I want to book, but I don't want to use the website. Right. So that was a bit of a problem. It wasn't major, but I just felt like um maybe there's something we can do about it. So one of the things that I thought was, what if we have an AI agent that can help people book. So it engages in a conversation with them, asks them what they want, and then when they make a decision, it's able to use intent analysis to identify that breaking point, right? So when it says, okay, this is what I want, when they say this is what I want, it sends them, if it asks them to give the information that they would need to book the test. And this will all be on WhatsApp AI, WhatsApp bots, like just like Meta AI, right? And that was just an idea that I played with for a bit, and eventually eventually we started to implement it, right? But even though the implementation is not complete, and we're currently at the part where it is able to do the job of a customer support agent. So that means when people text it, it's able to give them all the information they want immediately. They don't have to start scrolling through websites or whatever. And then people can even engage with it, ask questions and things like that. So what this means in terms of redefining possibility and success is, there's one way that we've always done things, and it had some bottlenecks, and it made sense to find another way. If there could be an easier way that would be easier for both us and and our customers, um we find it. And also a lot of these things also requires a bit of bravery, in the sense that um at least up until that time, I did not know about any company that was doing that, and that they could have a full-on conversation with the chatbot, generative AI, and it would go ahead and on their behalf complete the action for them. And so it required a bit of bravery, but I think it's more a function of problem solving. Just, there's a problem, what can we do, even if we have to go to territories that have not been treaded before to find a solution. So that is how my current role is helping redefine possibility and make sure that we have successful outcomes, even if it means going back on how we used to do things. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Timmy's testimony is such a brave woman, and I want to be like her, doing great, great things. So, the next question is, if you can you move to the next slide? This is testimony. In moments of self-doubt or adversity, what keeps you motivated to push beyond traditional limits? I know you are really good at pushing beyond traditional limits with what you just said now, but let's hear you. Let's hear you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the way I think of it, I basically tell myself, if this thing was easy, everybody else would be doing it. So that's why it's hard. It's hard because it's ev- everyone else won't be able to do it, and if you're able to push through, if you're able to do it, you'll get results that nobody else has. And I think it's just for me, it's usually a matter of my motivation. I want results that are not common. And yeah, I have to be able to do the work that is not common. So when things get hard, I know that it's part of the process. I feel like coding in general tests you. It's not easy, and it pushes you to your limit. It's more like it's asking you, do you really want to do this? And if you're able to stay push through, even when it's hard, even when it's you want to give up, you just go to bed, you wake up and continue again. And at the end of the day, you know that you're going to get results that nobody else will. And I think that's enough motivation for me to push through this moment. Thank you.
You guys have heard, don't give up. If you are going through something, last night you sleep and wake up and continue. So people, I want to hear your view. In moments of self-doubt or adversity, what keeps you motivated to push beyond traditional routes? Okay.
Okay. So like testimony said, I'm actually just going to build up on what she said. Most times when you have like a goal that okay, oh, I'm trying to build this thing, I know that when I do this thing, this is what is going to bring me. This is what is going to be. Okay, I'm going to see as an example of my project I continued after GSO. So from that project, I wanted to write a paper from it. So and like I explained to you, like I'm not in the informatics field, but the whole project was big. They can imagine so many times I'll not understand what I'm looking at. I'll just have to try to maybe ask mentor or ask GPT or just try to get a layman understanding of what I'm saying. So in moments like that, I just like look at okay, this is what I'm actually targeting. This is the end goal. Okay, you know that this they're trying to everybody is in tech now. The goal is not just even to be in tech. The goal is actually to um be someone known, like you should be known for something like oh when they call your name, wherever you're like, oh yeah, I need to see this is what she did, this is what she did, and this kind of stuff. And you cannot get that by just resting. It cannot be easy. Yes, like a person said, it's very, very hard. Like and it's I don't think it ever gets easier. So you just have to like remember that what I'm trying to achieve. And like I said, when I am so yeah, honestly, like I've noticed that most times when a code seems like you're not understanding. Maybe just a minor error, you're not understanding. You're looking at it, but you cannot see what is wrong. When you just look away from it, maybe you go check TikTok or you go sleep or do whatever you wish and come back. So just pop fast and sleep. So sometimes you can just look away and then look back and then you get to continue with whatever you do. And don't also feel big to like maybe ask for help. A friend that probably does something that and the person will need to see where you're making your mistakes. That's happened to me so many times. I'll be frustrated on something and then I'll just tell somebody, please help me to look at it. And the error was right there in my photo. I was wishing the person that was tired of stuff like that. So yeah, it's basically the end game, like what you're pursuing that keeps me motivated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So focus on the end goal. Still favor, how can organizations cultivate a culture where redefining possibility is not just encouraged but expected? Hey, but did you get me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I was muted. So I'm going to the question again. How can organizations cultivate a culture where redefining possibility is not just encouraged but expected? Okay. I would say something that can be done is like not just encouraged but expected. To me, that means it's not just like talking but doing. So now, okay, you say we want us to push past innovations, we want us to do new things, we want us to do things that haven't been done before. So it's not just by saying it's like organizations have to encourage people to do. So they have to take actions. The truth of the matter is that many times when you try to do something new that has not been done before, You might even actually fail. It might not work out the way you're thinking it in your head. But there's no way of knowing it if you don't actually take the step and do it. So organizations have to take steps like some people will say do it scared, do it unsure. So like you have to take a step. That is one thing like around me sometimes, and I know many people also have that issue. We tend to overthink many things. You want to try out something and then you be thinking, and in the end you change your mind and not do it again. So like to develop that culture where is expected and not just encouraged, not just so that people actually do it. You have to encourage people to actually take steps, even if it will lead to a failure, or it will lead to something that you're not expecting. You would learn something from it and be able to retrace your steps and redo it again. And that way people will be able to make innovative things and do new things and like discover new things. So yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I really hope you are listening and learning new things because am. I can't be the only one enjoying the session. Testimony. How can organizations cultivate a culture where redefining possibility is not just encouraged but expected?
Okay. I think I'm just going to piggyback of what Miss Favor had talked about. I think it's just the openness, right? So I'm quite lucky. I usually say that I'm quite lucky because the organization where I currently work, a lot of in my current role, because I used to be an intern. Actually, I used to be a marketing intern, right? And I was in school at the time. I was studying computer science in school, and one thing they did was that they made us own things. So, for example, let's say there's a problem. So the conversation then becomes, okay, who wants to solve this problem, right? And then I remember then the problem was that we're struggling to analyze some of our conversations. So we were having conversations with customers, but we could not quantify it and track it with numbers. And you can say, okay, this ended well, this did not end well, this happened, just things like that. So then I decided that I was going to use some data science tools to do that. And when that happened, I was encouraged. And then they also made it my role. So they told me every marketing meeting you're going to be presenting this your analysis. And that was one of it encouraged me because I owned it. I was able to own it. So I think a lot of it has to do with ownership. When people show when they show some enthusiasm towards a project, let them do what they want to do, redirect them, correct them if needed, and let them own it, and let them be able to be proud of their creation. Thank you.
Thank you. About your work testimony, what inspires you to continually push the boundaries in your work?
I would say my biggest inspiration has to be finding solutions. So usually I think that everyone has certain problems that just pieces them off. Like there's a problem that you see you it just makes you angry in some way. And then other people they see it and they're like it's normal, but for you you're like, well, this should not be. And I think that it's an indicator of what we should pay attention to individually actually. But one of the things that inspires me is that oftentimes I don't want to be in the same room as the solution that I can easily solve. Like I feel like it's it's not a good use of my humanity or of my lifetime. So for me, I just want to be able to solve problems. If there's a problem that I can solve around me, I want to be able to solve it, and I want to make sure I put in my life into good use. Thank you.
Thank you. Favor, what inspires you to continually push the boundaries in your work? I want to hear from Favor.
Well, can you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So yes, I can. So I think someone said somehow in one of my answers, the thing that like inspires me is boundaries in my work is, like I said, looking at what I achieve at the where I want to where I want to see myself. So okay, can, can you still hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So like I was saying, looking at what I aim to achieve or that I want to be able to make this kind of solution, like making a solution in the field, in the AI or in the health sector. Those are the things that actually push me. Those are what motivates. Another thing that actually motivates me, how we all know that um, we don't have a lot of ladies in some of this field actually. But now women are actually stepping up, and I want to also be among those women that are there that and AI and actually succeeding. And people are known for a particular product, a particular thing in AI that okay, it's people that do this thing. So those are kind of things that help me to push, keeps me up with my boundaries in work. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really inspiring. Yes. So next question. A minute, please. Okay. Favor, what advice would you give to young women like me aspiring to break into AI and redefine what's possible in their career? Just, yeah, need your advice. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. So what advice I give to young women aspiring to become career in the kind of pursuing their careers? So I'm going to borrow one line from testimony. Something that you need to do is you need to question everything. Another thing is you need to what is what you need to be willing to actually put in the work. I'll just advise once you know that okay. Another thing is that you need to actually define what you want because honestly, the field of AI is very, very large. And if you just say, "Oh, I want to do AI," you might get lost and you might get tired. So you need to like um figure out what exactly you like doing, find a way to link it to AI. Like because, like I said, AI can literally come in anything. Honestly, find a way to link it to AI, and then be ready to actually put in the work. Don't just wait for people to hand things to you. Thank God for the internet and like the stage we are now that you can find anything you want on the internet or even by asking any of the LLMs. Try to ask questions when you don't understand stuff. And you don't even need to ask people. You can go ask ChatGPT, ask LLMs, and they'll break it down for you in very simple terms. So and never stop learning actually. That is one thing that I think is also important. You have to always, even if you have gotten to a new stage and you feel like, oh, I didn't know this thing, you can always find ways to like improve the way you like the way you know something or what to know about whatever you're doing in whatever field you are. So like that's okay. And define what is possible in their careers. So another thing, be open and be like be ready to like listen to other people and learn new things because the truth of the matter is that you may not have every idea. Let's say you want to build project or you want to write research paper or whatever, every idea might not come from you. But when you talk with people in your fellow field or even people in other fields, discuss with them and you have a listening ear, you're ready to hear what people are saying. You can hear a problem. They can tell you about a problem that you feel like, oh, okay, this can be solved with AI. Or you can hear something that you think that, oh, this can be done better with AI. And that is how ideas are actually born. So you have to have an open yeah, an open mind, listen, and then be ready to actually do the work and not wait for people to like tell you everything. Do your own research yourself. Yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you, thank you. Uh, I think over to testimony. Want to hear your advice, us young women aspiring to break into AI and redefine what's possible in our careers.
Okay, thank you. So I think my first point would be fall in love with the problem. Like I think yeah, Miss Favor has talked about it already, and that is AI is something that can be applied into everything. But find out that problem that you're passionate about. That even if you fail 10 times, you still get up because you are really passionate about it, and it's something that it's home. It's close to home for you. So find a problem, fall in love with the problem, and just get obsessed with trying to find a solution to it. Right. And another thing would be don't count yourself out. So especially as women, especially as Africans, it's easy to think, oh, it's white people that build all the cool, fancy technologies. It's the white men, or I don't know, Silicon Valley, things like that. But don't let's not get into that. That's so one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's by Steve Jobs. It says, everything you call life, that's everything around us, technology, Wi-Fi, airplanes, s- buildings, they were built by people who were no more intelligent than us. We're just people who decided in their mind that that was what they were going to do, and they did it. So it's also yeah, sometimes I need to remember that every day. Or you can do anything really, as far as you focus, as far as you get obsessed with it. You can redefine what is possible in this generation. You can, and we have so much access. I'm always excited to talk about how much access we have. Like you can find, yeah, like billions of videos on YouTube, billions of tutorials, billions of things that yeah, don't count yourself out. You can change. You can change our current reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Favor. Thank you, Miss Testimony. This was a very insightful session. I really learned a lot from this. So moving on to the next session, which is Q&A for our panelists. Please let's drop our questions. Let's drop our questions. Chat box. You guys should have questions because they said a lot. Let me give you guys 30 seconds. Um, okay, I guess they're not asking a question. Let me ask a question. I think I have a question to ask. Um, if I want to, for someone that is not into AI, like I want to get into AI, what do you think I can do? Like can share your own path or something of easier for me to get into AI. Yeah, so let's go. Any of you can reply first. Thank you.
Okay. Hi Zainab. Um, I think I would say the first thing is to figure out what you want to do with AI. Like, what problems do you want to solve? What projects do you want to build? I think um so because most people would recommend maybe do a boot camp or something like that, but I would say figure out something you want to do. Let's say I want to build an app that does whatever that you want to do, right? And then from there you would start to learn, and then you start to build. Because I feel like the best way to learn anything really is to do. There's no amount of tutorials that can, or no, not tutorials, I mean classes, courses that can make up for that. So start with a very small project and then figure out how to do it, and then you go bigger and then you go bigger, because that was exactly my part. So for example, when we were building Lola, I did not know much about LLMs or anything, or AI engineering at all I knew was that I wanted to build a chatbot that could help women. And I started to research. Then I started to find solutions little by little. Then as I was learning, I was building. Then when I would build, I would learn more again, and I would build more again. And by the time the product was done, I had learned so much, and I was even confident, because you can't tell me I didn't learn, because I literally built with it. So yeah, that's the part I would recommend.
Let's figure out to ask questions. Okay, this Vivon cousins and nobody was asking questions. So I guess we move on to the next session. But before that, I want to thank our speakers, the speaking people. They really just thank you very much. We are so grateful to have you here. Thank you very much. Yeah. You guys should react. Let me see your reactions. Yes, I want to see it. Yes, good, good, good. Thank you very much. Yes, I personally I learned to love it. So yeah, I think we can move to the next session. Just the closing remarks by my boss. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I don't know which one is which one is worse, but thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for your time. I want to thank everyone. I know today is like a very busy day and a lot of people have things that they are doing, but I want to still say a big thank you to everyone who tried to make it to this place and stayed till the very end. So we don't have another session actually. We're actually already done. It's just to give closing remarks, and I've started giving the closing remark already. So the last thing I would just like to say is just two things. So I know we've not had our technical session, and I know some people will be asking me, or some people have asked, when are we having our technical session, right? So we're having our technical session next week, Monday. It's going to be 1 hour, like how it's always, and we're going to be talking about Gemini, Gemma, and everything in between. So if you are following the current AI updates from Google, you know that a lot, even not even only Google, right? We have a lot of things that are happening and a lot of things that are going on. So would like to discuss. It's going to be a very informal session, right? Just come with your questions, come with your thoughts, come with everything that you think you want to ask us or you would want to discuss. So we'll be having three people discuss. We're just going to be asking few questions. If you're familiar with LLMs, you're familiar with Gemini, you're familiar with Gemma, any of Google's AI's products, feel free to tune in, join. If you don't know any, to come in and listen, and I promise you it's going to be very, very productive, right? You won't be lost, I promise you. You just like go to your just go to AI Studio after we're done and try out everything that we said, right? So please register for the event. I've already put the link in the chat section. So the link will also be shared to the group this afternoon. So please register, join, so that we'll have people come for this session. And like I said, it's just 1 hour, 6 to 7, like how we usually do it. So yeah, follow us for more updates on our Twitter and on our LinkedIn. Follow us, post about us. If you have anything, if you have any project, tag us to it, we'll retweet for you. Basically anything that you might have. If you need more updates, follow us on our Twitter and on our LinkedIn. And lastly, we would like your feedback. Like I mentioned earlier, we would want feedback, right, from everyone, because want to know, okay, how are we faring? Are we doing things properly? Are we doing things right? And I would like everyone's feedback on this event and probably more events. So I'll drop the link now. So yes, please fill the link, and we'll see what we are doing, what we've done, and what we can do better. And with that, and from everyone from the team, I want to say thank you very much for your time, for your patience till this time, and I wish you a very good weekend, and see you on Monday. Thank you. So bye everyone.